Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you are good. At this point in time, it is screaming, I am obsessed with black people, or I cannot do without speaking about black people. I am going to say this and make it clear. When you start forcing help on somebody, it is no longer help. So whether you call black people from now till tomorrow and order, if they choose not to come out, they are not going to come out, right? And for the man that said that black people are acting like white supremacy, like white people, because they refuse to come out. And I am going to ask if there is anyone that is using white supremacy tactics. I am going to start with you people because it is you people that refused to do the right thing last year because you want to align with white supremacy. And last I checked, I have been reporting so many things going on in black community for this year, and I never saw you people trying to protest for black people, but you want black people to protest for you. Sometimes I look at you people's way of thinking and I cannot phantom it because at this point in time it is screaming. I just will continue to call their names, for no reason. You messed up and you want another man to fix the mess up for you. Like, who does that? You all have this sense of entitlement, right? You all feel like it's okay to come out. You are not calling the Asians, even the gingers, even the white people you supported. Why is it black people that you all are calling? Let's get into this video.
I am so sick of scrolling online and watching black Americans sit there and advise their people not to support the immigration movement that's going on across the entire United States. What have they done for us? They never supported our protests. Yes, they have. Go watch some old footage. You're going to see people in different shades, different colors, even sizes. It's a beautiful thing. And now I'm not simply going after black Americans because I'm watching Hispanics, Latinos with legal status that simply just betrayed their people, saying, we don't support this. You know what's crazy? Back in those days, black Americans weren't the only ones that were fighting for civil rights, for equality. You had the Puerto Ricans, you had the Chicanos, you had black Americans. And the beautiful thing is that even back in those days, there was unity going on behind closed doors. You had the Chicano movement, the Brown Berets, you had the Puerto Ricans, the Young Lords, you had the Black Panthers, all united. And guess what? Back in those days, you had people like this spreading that same harmful rhetoric. Oh, we shouldn't unite with the Puerto Ricans. Oh, we shouldn't unite with the Chicanos. Yeah, even back in those days, it was happening. If that wasn't the case, those movements would have been a lot larger. But guess what? There was a small group of people that saw the vision, and every time they united, they were successful. And unfortunately, back in those days, it was eventually broken apart when one of the leaders ended up passing away or they were hit with RICO charges and eventually they just dispersed. A lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, during Martin Luther King, he understood the vision. He understood and he motivated the Puerto Ricans to form and fight for their civil rights and equality, and the Chicanos. And they did. They formed their stuff. And guess what? I love this quote, and it says a whole lot. It says, we cannot walk alone. We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Martin Luther King. Guess what? These are your neighbors, your friends, and even family. And that type of abandonment is loud. I think all of us felt that type of abandonment throughout our lives at a smaller scale, from friends, betrayal, and so on. You wanted someone to speak up for you, and they didn't. Why would you expect civil rights, equality for your people, but not for everyone else? Doesn't make much sense, does it? See, now we're going backwards. But what they don't want us to do is unite. Because all them streets that you see right now in Los Angeles, New York, and so on, guess what? If we come together, they will be even more full. Every square footage of them streets will be completely covered. And they don't want that. I hate that Hispanic Latinos go against their interests. I call them out all the time, especially with what Donald Trump is doing. And even black Americans. You know that Donald Trump was actually at a military event, and he goes on to say that he's renaming military bases to Confederate generals' names. Do you know what the Confederacy represents? It represents them preserving slavery back in those days. I'm sick and tired of y'all going against your own interests. The people that are speaking and passing on this harmful rhetoric for even the younger people, guess what? Y'all are not even any better than the white supremacy. Who needs the white supremacy when they have you doing the work for them? With that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Like this video, comment, be respectful, and as always, follow me.
Get him, Puffy Lion Dog.
Us as Latinos, I've noticed that we're willing to accept white people in our family, but not black people. Most of the time, we prefer white people over black people. Really, any other nation more than a black person. What I mean is, a mother's daughter has a white boyfriend. They would happily welcome him more than if she had a black boyfriend. Most of the time, there's a stereotype within the Hispanic household about black people, right? That they're criminals, they're gang members, they're violent, they're someone you should fear. When really, we should look at white people that way, because white people are the ones who actually are harming us right now. Yes, they're Hispanics who are in those ICE trucks, ICE vans, but they have been put in place by the oppressor. The same people who descend from the people who took your land, put your forefathers in slave ships, stole your identity, gave you the terms Latino, Hispanic. The people who descend from those people, they're oppressing you today. And their forefathers oppressed your forefathers back in the day. So what is my point? We need to deny any nation but our own. As Black, Latinos, and Natives, we are the same people. We should unite, we should come together, and we should marry one another. If your daughter wants to get with a so-called African American, of course, you want to make sure that he's a good fit. You should allow that. If your son wants to get with an African American sister, make sure she is fit and allow that. And same thing for so-called black people. Same thing for your daughters and your sons who want to get with natives or so-called Hispanic. You should allow that, because that's going to make us unite. That's going to make us stronger. And people might say, well, black people hate Hispanics. Hispanics hate black people. Listen, the reason why we are hurting each other is because we're oppressed by the same person who's causing stress, who's causing chaos, who's causing poverty in our lives. And when we are going through stress and anger, we get violent. And who are we going to get violent with? The people who live among us. We live amongst each other. You understand? But the people who we should really be upset with, and who we should point the finger at, is our oppressor. And we should never point the finger at each other. We should come together, resolve our problems, get over grudges, get over division amongst each other, and really come together as a community, get off of drugs, go against drugs, go against drug dealers, go against our daughters being whores and prostitutes and sleeping around, and really lock in and build as a community where men can be men, women can be women, and we'll rise to the top. And that's what the Most High, our God, wants for us. He wants us to get right, to fix ourselves, to cleanse ourselves. This is from the ISUPK and the Commander General Hana. This is what we teach. This is what we promote, because this is what the Bible teaches. You understand? If you want to learn more, go to isupk.com. Find a school near you. Shalom.
I've seen a couple comments, we need to stick together, black and brown unity. they're coming for you next comments, and I just want to give my opinion on it without me being heavily passionate, just my thoughts. When you're saying they're coming for you next, or who do you think is next, to me, I consider that more to be a threat and you not actually being in solidarity with Black Americans, because if we know any protest in the past, we know that they're a lot more brutal when it comes to darker skinned people, especially Black men. And we've seen video after video of Black men being beaten to death in the prison system, right? Beaten to death. And I'm not saying it isn't heartbreaking. I do feel bad for the Mexican community. I know they're very hardworking people. But I think there's a very huge difference between being taken from your families and placed in cars and returned to your home country versus being placed in body bags. You know, Black Americans don't get deported. This is our home country. We can't be deported anywhere. This is our home. We get beaten to death or shot or unalived or schmurdered. And I find it very, very weird and insulting to compare the two. And I've seen, we were there for Black Lives Matter protests. That's because people were unalive. They no longer draw breath. They no longer exist on this planet. They are no longer in their bodies. They are in the ground. And I don't like the comparison because it's incomparable. If we could go home, even though this is our home, every Black American would do it. Give us reparations and a plane ticket. Bye! That's the difference. Again, I don't really have a problem with the whole immigration thing. Like, being an immigrant, I really could care less. I believe it. If you want to go somewhere else for a better life, I have no problem with that. I really don't. I just don't understand how... And I feel bad for kids who were here since they were kids. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you were here since you were a kid, I don't understand how they're being deported. Like, that's just insane. But I'm just saying in general. Your families came here for a better life. We were brought here against our will. And have worked very hard as a community, as a race, to make do with that suffering, with that pain, with that, and I've really been asking myself, do other cultures actually know what has happened to Black Americans? Like, do they know? Because I don't think they do. I really don't think they do. I feel like it's very sugar-coated. They were slaves, Jim Crow era, civil rights movement. And I think, I struggle to, there's like I've been saying it forever. There's a lack of respect, no shame. Hispanics throw the N-word around like it's nobody's business. They're the only ones I've ever heard say it in real life. And there's a comfortability, and I'm very just. Why aren't you asking for the Irish to stand up for you? There's this whole gingers are black thing. Where is the ginger community? Where is the Russians? Where's the Italians? Where's the Koreans? Where's the Chinese? Where's the Japanese? Where's the Samoans? Where's Native American solidarity? Where's brown solidarity? Why aren't you asking for the Native Americans' help? They understand just as much as you for the Mexican community. I mean, and you're saying you didn't vote for this. You're right. That is the hardship when your community votes against your best interest. Of course, not everybody voted for it. Just same way not all Black people voted for Kamala, but a lot did. Or, there is Black communities that voted for him, but that's not the majority. But if things would go wrong, everyone would blame that percentage that voted for him. I think people are so inherently deep-rooted in their racism, and for some reason, society hates African Americans, Black Americans, descendants of enslaved prisoners of war, when we haven't done anything. It's actually psychotic if you really think about it. I'm not saying we don't have our own issues. We definitely have. But everybody's been so worried about the black community and what we've been doing instead of trying to end racism in your own community. You hate Afro-Latinos. The Asian communities mistreat darker skinned people, and their scale ratio on complexion is even worse. I would be considered dark to them. I think people need to ask themselves why their first thought is, hey, black community, where are you? We are not the Avengers. You need to ask yourself why you consider black skin an armor for you, because you do. This is about armor. That's it. You need someone to take the blows for you. And why is it black and brown solidarity when something's going wrong? The past 5 years, I haven't heard anyone say black and brown solidarity. Why haven't the Hispanic communities been trying to build community with us before? Why haven't we all been getting together, buying land, investing in things together, trading? That's solidarity. It's only when it's war. It's only when something bad is happening that it's suddenly solidarity because the white man is out to get you. But you guys want to be white. You want to be in proximity to people who ate us. It's actually insane that you think we don't understand white people. It's like, it truly shocks me. It's like, why do you guys want to be close to a demographic that literally causes chaos? Obviously not all white people. I'm half white. But just like white supremacy in general. What is this weird obsession with wanting to be close to it? You are the brainwashed demographic. We're not. We know what it is. We know what the scale is. And this whole, you're next. When Khalif Browder, Corey Wise, the Exonerated Five, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Emmett Till, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, George Floyd, I don't remember everybody's name, but I remember a lot of scenarios. Shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting. And it's just, I find it so disrespectful because we're not getting deported anywhere. We're getting murdered. We're being placed in body bags. And then we're told we're overreacting. Oh my gosh, this race stuff again. Why are they always talking about race? Now you're feeling a little discomfort. It's discomfort. And if any of y'all feel it, that is America. So whenever, Chinese people were dealing with some stuff during COVID too, they were experiencing some hate crimes. It don't feel good, does it? I feel like y'all think you're better than the program, and it's kind of embarrassing. Ain't nobody better than the program. But for some reason, you guys think because you're a little lighter, you got this weird white approval that doesn't exist. And you would throw black people under the bus. It makes me laugh. I'm not saying y'all don't protest because, obviously every race protests. But just, systematically, I don't see the solidarity that everybody speaks of. I see every community, Indian people, Arabic people, Muslims, Chinese people, Koreans, Mexicans, Hispanics. They're all in our communities. You guys all have the businesses. I don't see you pouring into the black community at all. So who are you trying to fool? I mean, history, Sinners perfectly pointed it out. They had two Chinese shops. What did they contribute? Nothing. First of all, this is really all about money. You guys want the black dollar, but y'all don't like black people at all, but you love our culture. It's actually insane. It's effing disgusting. I don't think you're used to having to fight for yourself. We have plenty of people to look up to. This is not the Hunger Games, and this is not Handmaid's Tale. We have activism, and we always have, which is why you're here. So you're just not used to having to fight for yourself. But go ask for other people. Bye.
Y'all just had black fatigue. Everybody just had black fatigue. So I'm very confused as to why all of a sudden everybody is looking for black people to assemble like the Avengers and get out here in the streets and protest. I'm very curious. Like, are y'all looking for solidarity and equity? Or are y'all looking for human shields? Because y'all have the audacity to be upset that black people are saying that this is not our fight. That black people are saying that we're not going to get out here and go out here in the streets and protest. Like, I don't understand why this is so upsetting. The way that black people are expected to come through and save the day is an entire case study. Because we over here minding our business. We see it. We see what's going on. But we over here minding our business and we still getting wrangled in and stuff. But then you have like people on here talking about this is what they want. They want cultural division. But it's the same cultural division that y'all perpetuate when y'all stand shoulder to shoulder with white people and point y'all's finger at black people and laugh at us and make it like y'all too good. But now we expected to just forget about all of that and just, oh yeah, it's cool. Come on, let's go. Like, no, I said this in November. Black people, especially black women, have carried this country on our backs for years, decades. We have been in the streets fighting. We have been fighting for basic civil rights. We did that in the 60s. And then for the black people that's getting on here trying to admonish other black people for saying that they're resting, other black people for saying that this is not their fight, talking about, oh, I can never hate other marginalized communities. Y'all are reaching. That's not hate. Then y'all want to throw in, well, in California, it's a blue state, and then this percentage of Latinos and Latinas voted for Kamala, and this percent. Listen, Linda. At this point, it matters not. We are tired. And it's okay for us to be tired. We don't have to carry everybody, because I'm really trying to figure out, like, why is everybody always looking for us, but nobody's looking for the white people. Nobody's looking for the Arabs. Nobody's looking for the Asians. Nobody's looking for the Native Americans. Nobody's looking to nobody else, but everybody always got their eye on black people, and we over here minding our business, and we still getting wrangled into some shit. And to the people that's like, well, I'm not just going to sit around while this is going on. Don't. Babe, we had this conversation, again, another conversation that we had a couple months ago. Back in February, March, when people was protesting. Or was it April? Whenever. A few months back. If you want to protest, get out there and protest, babe. Nobody is stopping you. They're not. You just want to get on here and have something to complain about at this point. Go out there and do it. And then you got people on here talking about, the people that's talking about this is not our fight. They wasn't doing nothing anyway. How do you know? How do y'all be knowing? Y'all be clocking everybody else's shit. Like, how do y'all know what people is out here doing and what they not doing? You got. That's why you got to keep your eyes on your own paper and stay in your own lane when you're driving. You got to focus on what it is that you doing. Because if you're doing what you need to be doing or what you want to be doing, you wouldn't have time to be worried about everybody else. Y'all always trying to clock what somebody else is doing and what they ain't doing. Focus on you, because you don't know what people have been out here doing. There's been some people that's been out here protesting for years. For years before George Floyd. So, yeah, y'all need to stop thinking that y'all doing something with that. Like, oh, y'all not doing nothing anyway. You don't know that. You don't know. Make sure you're doing what you're doing. But yeah, I don't know. The way that y'all want us to come together like Power Rangers. I can't even get it out. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Power Rangers. Just leave us alone. If we want to get involved, we'll get involved. If we don't, that shouldn't be problematic.
You don't have to like someone to stand in solidarity with them. That's not what this is about. When we talk about building black and brown unity, we're not talking about creating a big friend group. This ain't about hanging out or being best friends. This is about if something were to happen in your community, we got your back. And if something were to happen in our community, you got our back. It's like how the US works with NATO. Not every country in NATO are best friends with each other. Some of them don't even like each other, but they understand that they need each other when things go bad. So therefore they respect each other. And that's what the black and brown community have to do. Even the Black Panthers didn't like every group that they marched with, but they understood something was bigger. And that was that the mission was more important than the ego. So with that being said, it was also more important than pride. So with that being said, if we stay divided just because we don't vibe with everyone, then the system wins every time.
This is all I got from this video. And one thing I'm going to start with is that I'm always looking for a way to turn the narrative that to it's always black people trying to be white supremacy or something. Now let me ask you this. What's happened to fighting for yourself and not looking for people to fight for you? Why must you ask people to come and fight for you? Because you all are the one that messed up. Why are you calling black people to fight for you? Because at this point, it is screaming, I am obsessed and I am going to continue to call black people out. For those that will say these videos are made recently, I am asking you, why must black people to be brought? Why did you people look for a way to bring them into the crime scene when they are not anywhere close to it? You want unity, but you want to remind black people that they were not also the ones that fought for civil rights, that Puerto Ricans and all that also helped, right? Do you want unity, or you want to remind black people who fought for civil rights and who did not fight for civil rights? Let me know. You already must be, some people are really very weird. You are saying that you're calling for unity, but you want to use some quotes, right? To like, when they try to tell you that reverse racism and all that, or when they look for a way to change the story to fit their narrative and the rest of it. You all are not doing great. One thing I am going to say is that it does not make any sense when you want somebody's help only when you need them. That is where you guys be going so wrong all the time. It's not like black people cannot come out and help, but just they do not want to come out. It got nothing to do with them being white supremacy or trying to buy into, because if there's anybody that bought into white supremacy was you people. I don't know if this does make sense. You guys were right there. I mean, you guys were seeing light and darkness. You choose darkness, and the darkness, it's covering everybody. And you want me to leave my room without light to come and turn on light for you? Are you okay right now? Like, is everything okay in you people's kingdom? Because it looks like some people's medulla oblongata aren't working perfectly well. Man, I am not leaving my room to anybody's room to go and turn on light when my own light is not on. You all really be talking nonsense. Sincerely speaking, do you want peace, or you want to remind black people what they were supposed to do? Now let me tell you something. You see, helping people, guys, helping people is not a must, and it's not something you must force somebody to do. Excuse me. When people say they are not going to, they don't want to do something, you do not have to force them, because at this point you guys are forcing yourself to them, which doesn't make any sense. You get? You guys can do better. Like the other man is saying, also said, I know there is already a divide in black and brown community because you all will never welcome a black person into your home, but you guys will welcome a white person. This is also what made you people vote against your own interests. And now it is black people that has refused to speak, or that has refused to come. And I do not see you people speaking on the things happening in black community. I have never ever seen hypocrites, because at this point it is screaming, I am a hypocrite. You all will never help black people, but want black people to be at your beck and call and all. Well, how do they say that? Man, you all aren't doing well. I think you guys should just go and chill. It's summer, right? Everywhere it's really hot. You can go make yourself something cool to chill your head, right? cool your temper, cool your heart, cool your mind, cool everything you need to cool, and focus on the things that you are supposed to focus. Because at this point in time, what is going on is whooping everybody's ass. Whooping everybody's ass. And you want black people that you never even spoke for. You never spoke for them for one day, to leave everything they are doing to come and start running to the streets to protest. I thought you all said that it is not in your culture to speak up. It is not in your culture. It's also not in black people's culture to speak up. So what is going to happen? Man, I am not in for this. Not today. I think I have talked for so long. Bye for now.